Buggy D Clown has just became the most dangerous Yonko in One Piece.
Hold on, what?
For the past few months, we were all wondering, what did he do? Some of you even doubted Oda, thinking there is no way Buggy being a Yonko makes sense. Well, chapter 1056 finally gives us the explanation to what happened. In fact, so much is revealed. Number 1, Mihawk and Crocodile has teamed up with Buggy. Number 2, the ancient weapons are under threat. Number 3, Eustace D. Kid is red-haired Shanks' brother. And number 4, the most important one out of them all. Listen carefully. Anime Drip.shop just dropped a banger with this One Piece Nakama shirt and hoodie. And I left you guys a special Buggy's delivery in the pinned comment section below. Welcome back everyone to Subscribe Steve! Chapter 1056 is titled Cross Guild, which introduces us to Buggy D Clown's ultimate play with the formation of his new organization, which rivals the likes of the world government itself. Yes, my guy is actually putting out bounties on the heads of Marines. You can't make this shit up. Regardless, the news reveals that Crocodile and Mihawk are part of and under Buggy's organization. Likely they're just using him as a banner to execute their own goals. But by capturing Luffy and removing the 7 warlord system, the world government literally declared war against all of them. Mihawk, Boa Hancock, Buggy and Weevil. Without immunities and privileges, their territory instantly becomes a target. Mihawk, even though he can probably fend an entire army by himself, will eventually get annoyed, feeling it's more convenient to partner up with another form of power that offers a similar benefit that the world government once did. So yes, Buggy's Cross Guild is bigger than we all think. With his insane status and wealth, Buggy has officially organized a systematic governance for the underworld, having the reputation of being a former apprentice of none other than the Pirate King Goldie Roger himself, along with being in charge of an already established mercenary organization, the Buggy's Delivery, which mind you only shot up and became a monopoly after the collapse of Doflamingo's underworld market. Thanks to this, Buggy managed to occupy Karaibari Island in the New World. I'm pretty sure this island's defense is impeccable. The Marines that were sent over must have failed miserably. Most importantly, Buggy has a lot of wealth. Not only because of his business, but especially thanks to Luffy's temporary alliance with him. As after obtaining Captain John's treasure, Buggy's net worth probably rivals the world government itself, if not the whole of Marijoa. Yes, Captain John was once part of Rock's crew. His legend was solely based around the wealth he accumulated. In today's economy, we're talking about mass trillions! With this type of money, Buggy can even pay entire countries or armies to do his biddings. Money, no matter how you look at it, rules the world. Cash literally rules everything around me, guys. I just, you can't control this. This is the #1 rule of life. Hence the importance and value of bounty in the first place. Having the financial power to rival the world government brings security and stability to the previous warlords. So it would make sense that Crocodile and Mihawk would want to make use out of this. Or all of this just could be, just misinformation and propaganda.
You are fake news, sir.
You never know when it comes to Buggy and Big News Morgan. Anyways, regardless of their reasonings, this automatically gave more clout to Buggy on top of his already broken influence, explains the Yonko status he received. But coming back to Wano, the banquet is already over, whilst we see Raizo and Shinobu recovering from being sucked out dry by Green Bull. The Scabbards discuss the altercation they had with him and reaffirms he was right. Kaido was the deterrent, keeping the world government from entering Wano. The Scabbards being pushed by Green Bull to think about Wano's current position will ultimately help them build on what's missing. They now need to fill the void of Kaido so that Wano Kuni can continue to stand as an independent state. All of this once again just goes to prove Green Bull was playing an act. Everything we said in the last review is reinforced. Green Bull is from Wano himself and just wanted to make sure that, the Shogun knows what he's doing. Whilst apologizing for not being able to fight alongside Momo against Green Bull, Kiyomon reveals that his wife, Soro, is alive and only has burns on her face. We then move to Carrot, who is called by Inuarashi and Nekomamushi, confirming to us that she is not joining the Straw Hats after all. No! Instead, Carrot has been promoted in becoming the next leader of the Mink tribe. Yes, she is now the queen of Mokomo Dukedom, because Inu and Nico are staying in Wano to help rebuild the country and protect it from the outside threats. They also tell her that she will be the one to lead the Minks into the new era, which is a recurring theme in One Piece, especially in the recent chapters, with Shanks bringing up the next era. Carrot traveling with the Straw Hats isn't her destiny. Leading the Minks would be a perfect role for her, as she will be carrying on Pedro's will. Carrot had no fear in traveling with Luffy. In fact, like her predecessors, she snuck on board the future Pirate King's ship. The seeds were already sown for this succession to come into fruition. But let's be real here, she just getting the Pedro treatment. We then see Momonosuke and Hiyori meeting with Sukiyaki, who decided to finally reveal he is their grandfather. Despite them not knowing him too well, they hug him, recognizing that he is their only living relative. Sukiyaki apologizes and thanks them for not chastising him over the errors he made. All the scabbards had figured out this reveal other than Kiyomon. Why ain't I surprised? But Kiyomon is bamboozled by this revelation. Sukiyaki then proceeds to tell them he wants to retire without the citizens learning about him. This time, it isn't out of selfishness of being ashamed, but instead to not inconvenience the people of Wano any further by dropping this bombshell. We then finally move on to the reaction of Frankie, who learns about Pluton being in Wano, and he is floored since, his history and all with the blueprints. But Robin elaborates that this is the ancient weapon with the name of a Greek god. Luffy, do you want it? Yeah, obviously we knew that Luffy wouldn't want it, as these weapons are primarily used for conquering, and as we know, he has no interest in that. Luffy just wants to be the freest man in the world, and conquering means he's responsible for the conquered, effectively chaining him. But Pluton and the other weapons will definitely come into play by the end of the series. As we have stated time and time again, Luffy will reach Laugh Tale, learn the ancient weapons are needed to fulfill the goal of destroying the Red Line, and in controlling the seas, making One Piece, then yes, he will definitely need that shit. All of this answers the question to what Robin and everyone was asking on why did Oden want to open the borders of Wano, releasing Pluton. Well, we know the answer. Oden, after reaching Laugh Tale with Roger, read Joy Boy's final testament, learning about the Void Century along with the Prophecy of Dawn. To complete this mission, Joy Boy set out Pluton is necessary. 800 years ago, Wano, under the instructions of the Ancient Kingdom and Joy Boy of the past, must have formed the borders around the country so that this weapon could be protected. In chapter 1055, Sukiyaki says that the earth grew around the island. But how did the earth grow? Well, either it was due to the earth god fruit that the giant elephant Zunisha might possess, or it was Joy Boy using his Nico fruit. Remember, we have seen Luffy bend the earth, so it is possible. Joy Boy must have parked his bad boy ship and closed the garage so that Pluton could be only accessible by the fated child of D, who will take on the next title of Joy Boy. Knowing that Joy Boy would arrive in 20 years, Oden wanted to prepare Wano for his awakening. This is reinforced by his statement in chapter 968.
As they were talking about all this, the most beautiful woman in all of Wano, Shinobu, appears with Otama. The little kid misunderstood the information and thought that everybody was saying the mature women are weapons. Otama then talks to Luffy as she informs him that she has officially become the legendary Shinobu's apprentice, making Luffy agree to make her his nakama once she becomes stronger as a bewitching kunoichi. With all of that positivity in the air, Caribou is here to ruin it. It seems like Caribou heard everything about Pluton and says that he has to inform that person about it. It looks like he's in an alliance with somebody or working under someone strong, like a former warlord or maybe even an emperor. Now, there are quite a few possibilities for this. He could be working for Blackbeard or even Crocodile as a spy against the Straw Hats, or even plans to sell this information to the world government. As we know, the world government is quite keen on acquiring the ancient weapons through what we see happen in Water 7, with CP9 infiltrating the shipwrights for 5 years, climbing up the ladder to get information on the Pluton blueprints. This would give the Marines a huge advantage, especially with them running low on personnel and cross guilds coming into the picture. Anyway, we see Momo taking a stroll through his country with the people of Wano applauding him for releasing them from the tyranny of Orochi and Kaido. Momo then opens the door in hopes of finding Zoro, who could hopefully teach him some swordsmanship. But there is nobody in the room. Momo runs around the castle calling out the Straw Hats and Yamato, but to no avail. On this search, he meets Yuri, who was peacefully playing the Sashi Men with Toko. When Momo asks about the Straw Hats, he is bamboozled. Apparently, Luffy and the crew had already left the castle and they were about to leave Wano. But for some weird reason, they had met everyone except Momonosuke and Kinemon. Even Kinemon mentions this, as it is certainly weird to simply not meet two people out of everybody. It's clear that spending so long on their ship made it very difficult to say goodbye. Momonosuke for sure will say his goodbye in his dragon form with Kinemon riding on him. This will avoid any awkward moments and give us an epic farewell imitating the Nakama Vivi send-off, just like this shirt Yusuf is wearing. The scene changes to the coast where Law, Kid, and Luffy are at Tokage Port. It seems like all three of these idiots decided that they won't leave for an island on the same day, but never said when they'll leave, and all of them are leaving on the same day. The three then decide that since this can't be helped, they choose 3 different routes. Law chooses northeast, with Kid and Luffy both picking east. This isn't because they're aware of some hidden route, but they just think that since east is in the middle of the options, it's the fastest route.
Your brain doesn't fucking work, you idiot.
Law makes fun of them as he informs the two that northeast is the right path to go through. Not that it matters though, because the two are already fighting over who gets to go east. They do a lottery and Kid wins. Luffy whines about it, saying that he doesn't get to go where he wants to, even though he's a Yonko now.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Kid, while being slightly annoyed, says that more than this, he can't believe that Buggy managed to become a freaking Yonko. We then see a page where Buggy is standing in the middle as Sir Crocodile and Mihawk, yes, the legendary Mihawk, are standing beside him as part of Cross Guild. This surprised everybody, including Luffy, who wonders as to why the poster looks like Crocodile and Mihawk are Buggy's subordinates. Law says that if Buggy managed to get these 2 former warlords under his control, then it'd be appropriate to call him a Yonko. Just as he says that, Luffy interrupts and calls Buggy a freaking idiot, as he should, and Zoro agrees with Luffy, saying that there is no way that Mihawk would become that clown's subordinate. This is definitely one of those shenanigans Buggy manages to pull off by accident. He does have a strong resume as a former member of the Gold D. Roger pirate crew, his sworn brotherhood to red-haired Shanks, a fellow Yonko, and his position as a former warlord. With all this, the 3 captains get ready to depart, and Law hands a print of the poneglyph to Kid, stating that he deserves it too. And then Kid replies that maybe it is time for him to seriously go for the One Piece as well. With this, he also asks Killer if he should tell the 2 about the guy with a mark on his face, even though the 2 believe that it is better for them to not know about it. Luffy and Robin are curious about this, and Law's expression changes. It seems like he knows what Kid and Killer are talking about. In the end, Kid doesn't spill the beans, as he believes that it's better for them to not know about this person. For all we know, this person could be someone important, like a former member of Gold D. Roger's pirate crew, or the Rock's pirates, maybe even Rock's himself. Cause you know, Oda did say that at the end of Wano, a lurking legend will reveal himself. With our theory of Shanks being related to Rock's, Kid knowing box could be the reason he attacked Shanks as his first Yonko target. They definitely have some kind of a beef. Either that or the burnt one could be Kuzan. Since his departure from the Marines, he has been playing a unique role around the world. Cutting to the final page of the chapter, we see Yamato standing on the castle roof, clearly taking in the views of Wano before she takes off on her journey. Momo shouts to her to go with Luffy and live like Kozuki Oden. Now, we have talked about her joining the Straw Hats and what it means for her character multiple times before, but this tells us a little more about what's going through her head at this point. Despite having bad experiences in Wano, it is still her home. Her ideals all originate from Wano and their samurai. Yamato clearly wants to join the crew. It's been what she's wanted for a while now, but leaving Wano still takes tremendous courage. People are out here still saying that she won't join the crew. Well, I'm here to burst that bubble because she's definitely joining the crew, alright? It's happening. Luffy has his 10 members which he stated he wanted back in Romance Dawn. This is the end game now. This is the final listing of the Straw Hats. There will be no more members other than Tama joining maybe much later down the line and after the story is already over. So Yamato is definitely joining the Straw Hats because she is my queen, okay? I wish I was Momonosuke. Anyway, be sure to check out this video on Buggy D Clown where we expose his true hockey power. That he has the power to destroy the red line, bruh. Like, this dude is a walking, talking, red-nosed atomic bomb, okay? Go check that video out.